some things you want to see Saturday, Coach?
Just, guys playing physical, communicating, playing with great effort. Those are the main things, those three areas. Just guys know what to do, where to put their eyes, play with good fundamentals, technique, play sure of themselves. But being physical, playing with effort is a big part of it. See who can get out in front of a good crowd and execute and communicate and play within the scheme, play with discipline, and that'll be just another opportunity for us to evaluate those things.
Who do you expect to see shine on Saturday?
Who do I expect to see? The defenses. I don't know. I think the players that have played a lot of football, you have a different level of anticipation. Guys like Isaiah Simmons or Tanner Muse, Kayvon Wallace, A.J. Terrell, Jamie Skalski, Shaq Smith, Chad Smith, Justin Foster, Logan Rudolph, Xavier Thomas, those guys that have been out there, a little bit more, just to have a lot more data to evaluate them. So, but I'm really excited about all the youth, the first opportunity for all those freshmen that just got here. It's been a really good spring, great, learning curve for, that group of guys and a lot of other guys that are, there's just their first chance to, prove that they belong, earn their way, compete, fight, and where a number of guys feel like that, this is their first real opportunity to, have a chance to go after a starting job or again, be in the solid 2 deep, by the end of the summer going into, summer drills.
Coach, a couple weeks ago, you talked about those defensive tackles, how much time they're spending in the film room.
Mm-hmm.
Still seeing the same commitment?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. It's a great group of guys, and they understand work ethic and where they're at, and the work that they still got to continue to do, and it's not going to happen overnight. So it's a good, mature group of guys that they've been both good and bad, and it's been a really great spring for them just because of what they're going against every day. They're not going to see better any particular week going into next year, looking at the schedule. So they're being strained in every possible way, mentally, physically, and learning how to play the game. So just thankful that they're here and able to get the quality of reps that they are. It's going to really pay off.
Is DK going to play defense?
Yeah, DK. I am excited about him. He'll play defense and probably return. And he's had an excellent spring, and obviously he wasn't there the whole time. But when that decision was made, really he's just taken off very natural. Got great instincts, very tough, competitive, incredible transitional movement. When he knows what he's doing, which he's not far off. It's not real hard for the real good ones. And I wouldn't necessarily call him a great player yet at the position. He's still learning a lot of the nuances and intricacies and what we do. But he's it comes very easy to him.
Could he get in the mix for that starting spot?
Oh, for sure, yeah. If you said name starters today, you're picking 2. He's one of those 2 starters today.
So this is just not experimental then. It's you expect to see him play on the other side, on your side of the ball.
Yeah, I'm not the head coach, so but if you ask him my vote, we'll take him, and he'll play a lot. Be a big part of what we do, and that's not an indictment on the other guys. He played defensive back in high school, and I know we recruited him. We said we'd take him either side of the ball, and he's just a really good football player and just got a natural football IQ, and he's a very confident guy, and it shows in how he plays. But he's strong, he's physical, he's fast, terrific ball skills, quick learner, very, very, very coachable, as well. And that's a big part of that easy, transition, because he is coachable. He's not stuck in his ways or above, a butt chewing. He responds. So really excited about him. Again, players respect him now. Just go line him up in one-on-ones. And
Brent, Justin Foster, how important has this spring been to his development?
It's no more important than anybody else, but it's been good. I think he's more comfortable now than ever. and playing a little faster. And you know, he's a heavy-handed, instinctive guy that knows what we're doing. So he's had a really good spring, very consistent.
With the spring in the books at linebacker, particularly the Will and Mike, what's your assessment of things?
It's been good. You know, Chad Smith missed a large portion of the spring, had a little sprained neck, and he missed probably a little more than 3/4 of the spring. So it's good to get him back, but a lot of the time there we didn't have him. So 6 of our top 7 or 8 linebackers was out from what we had a year ago, you know, in the season. And but man, I was really proud of those guys. Had a really good spring. Isaiah, Skowski, Shaq, Chad, Balin Spector, Jake. Trying to think who else has been in that mix. Reagan Upshaw, he's done really well too. He's a runner and a hitter. It's been a really good group all spring. For the most part, know what to do. Done a good job of managing things. I'm excited about the group, and got you know, a few more guys coming in this fall, this summer when we get going. You know, I'm hoping there'll be a couple of those guys that can contribute.
Safety seems to be one of those positions you don't have a problem with, a little bit of the depth. You've got a little bit there. What do you expect from those guys as far as being leaders and trickling down to those other DBs?
So we obviously had the 4 guys coming back from a year ago, and so that it showed all spring, just with their experience and knowledge. Good leaders in that group, excellent leaders, and then you're looking for another guy to kind of join. And Ray was out with a shoulder surgery all spring, but I'm really pleased with Landon and Joseph. Both those guys look like they're going to be really good players, and size, speed, instincts, ball skills, toughness, intelligence. So I think that's a group that, you know, going into this year, we're going to have some proven depth, but some quality guys that we're adding to it.
Coach, you playing Logan Cash inside at tackle now?
He's playing D end.
Okay, still in.
Yeah. Why'd you say D tackle?
I just thought for some reason you might have moved him inside with the lack of depth there this spring. No. Okay.
No. He's been there, and then Rook and Tyler and ET have been inside.
Out of all those defensive linemen, freshmen or not, who have made the biggest strides?
The biggest strides, I would say, from day one to where we're at, Tyler Davis, E.T., from where he was a year ago, probably KJ. That's probably, and again, Logan and Justin have been probably the most consistent. And they've all improved, but those are probably the guys that have maybe Xavier Kelly. You know, he had a little bit better foundation in him. But as far as the new guys, those are the guys.
The nucleus of this coaching staff has been there for years. Why do you think that the coaching staff is, you know, sticks together, and you guys have been there so long together?
None of us can get a better job, so let's start with that. I don't know. It's a great work environment. It's a great place. I mean, you know, again, work for great people. Coach Sweeney's as good as there is in this profession. You can recruit great players. You know, live and work in a place that's got, you know, a sense of community to it. You have great appreciation with your fan base and great support. The stadium's full each and every week, and you can beat anybody you play. You know, in a performance-based profession, you got all the resources you could ever want, and a chance to win and attract the best of the best people and players. So, you know, whether they were paying us what they do or not, I mean, I think it's hard to beat. So I think I don't want to speak for everybody else. Those are things that are, you know, for me, that are very attractive.
You lost a lot of guys that were just natural leaders. Have you seen some guys start to step in and find their own voice?
I think we have a nice base to be, you know, and that group is as good as there's been, you know, here, any group that I've been around in coaching. there's just the depth of it, you know, of the accountability, guys that cared, guys that were very invested, the selfless attitude. But we've got a great nucleus of those guys. Again, Shaq Smith, Isaiah Simmons, Jamie Skowski, A.J. Terrell, Tanner Muse, Kayvon Wallace, Denzel Johnson, you know, Logan, Justin. Those are guys that just they're epitome of all those things. You know, maturity. You know, so and then they care a great deal about, you know, providing those same, you know, intrinsic values to the team, and any good team needs. You know, it's got to be player driven. So it's a group of guys that are, you know, intelligent, and they know the role they got to play. And then we've recruited good people that are going to all grow into those roles. And I've left out a few guys, I'm sure, but there's a great group, you know, nucleus of younger players too, that the buy-in, you know, is not going to be real difficult. So.
You mentioned Jamie Skowski, and it seems like we always hear his name. What is it that he brings to the table? Maybe not just football-wise, but both.
Yeah, I mean, he's a great student. He's super coachable, incredibly intelligent, a team guy all the way. Cares greatly for his teammates. He's very passionate about the game. Loves to show up to practice. So you never got to worry about him, you know, when he leaves the facility. So, you know, it's everything.
Obviously, this is a good year to get a lot of early enrollees with your numbers and whatnot, but just the energy they bring, kind of the freshness, the newness.
Yeah, it's just the innocence, you know. And you got to remind yourself often, oh, God, the next time he does it's the first time he does it, you know. And that happened a lot this spring for those guys. So it's been fun leading them. And, you know, as a staff, we had to be very intentional in meeting that group where they were at, not expecting them to meet us where we're at, where we finished. And so whether that's having to go a little bit slower or being a little more patient, a little more encouraging, but they've been a great group of guys to deal with. You know, I think we got 7 of them, or is it 7? Maybe it's 9. I think it's 9. How many is it, Don? You know? You know how many it is?
17 with offense.
Yeah, I think it's 9. I think it's 9.
17 or
Yeah, I think it's 9 on our side. But so that's been the biggest thing, you know, this spring. We weren't able to throw them in with a group of older guys. You know, they the majority of those guys win their D-line, and everybody's young. So it's been good though.
whenever we talk to the defenders or your players, and we say who's caught your eye, they all say Tyler Davis. Why is he catching everybody's eye?
Maturity and intelligence is. He's got a great work ethic, and the maturity allows him to fight through the tough days, tough moments, the failure. That's a part of the growth. So I think that's he's physically mature, mentally very, very mature. He's a really smart guy, and he's willing to work. He's got a great humility to him. Super coachable. Although he doesn't get his feelings hurt, he's a very competitive, responsive, accountable guy.
Is he similar to Christian Wilkins in that regard?
Sure, yeah. Christian's got he's this jolly mentality to him all the time. Everything's great. But make no mistake, when Christian crossed that line, he was a dog. He was a ferocious competitor, and so I don't want to start comparing guys to Christian, but from a maturity standpoint and a willingness to work and a willingness to fit in, part of the maturity is the willingness to be led. You're not trying to be the guy that's got to be the guy in the front of the line every time, or not listen to some older guys. Let them lead you. Matter of fact, they'll encourage you to get up to the front, when they see what you can do. But you gotta earn your way. So willingness to be led is that maturity too.
As the spring winds down, how do you feel about this group as a whole and the progress you guys have made?
Incredibly disappointed. I was going to give you a dissertation there. No, it's been good. No, they've worked really hard. We got a lot of work to do. We're a long way away from being a good defense. We just are. We've got some really good parts, but we are not a good defense yet. But we've had a great spring ball where we have put in, good work, every day. I think consistently we've showed up and have had a willingness to go to work. It's been the leaders, the guys that we talked about that have come back, that are here, have done a terrific job of leading and being the example when it comes to consistency and having a great attitude and competing the right way, helping the younger guys. So there's a lot of things that give you reason to believe that we'll continue to make progress and we're going to continue to improve, and we have to improve. Got a long way to go before we play a real game, but we need that time, to continue to develop in every part of, our unit.
All right, thanks everyone.